Shulk. I'm sorry.
Faced Mechon actually being people is probably Xenoblade's worst kept secret.
Did Abraham Lincoln die?
Yeah.
We're also familiar with this plot point that I don't think any of us have sat down and thought about how horrifying the concept is. I mean, even the game glosses over it a little bit, since the focus is somewhere between, oh my god, my favorite girl, or least favorite guy is back, and oh, that's why the Monado doesn't work. Anyway, while there are many faced Mechon in the game, I'm going to use Fiora as our example. You'll see why here in a minute. Around halfway through the game, it's revealed that after Fiora was killed back at the beginning, her body was repurposed, both as a component for a faced Mechon unit that would make it immune to the Monado, and also as a vessel for the goddess Maenad. When Fiora regains consciousness for the first time after having her body sliced open, she is now more machine than human. The small bits of her that are still human have been reworked into nothing more than one gear in a larger machine. On top of this, despite having regained consciousness, she has no control over this new body. She's forced to watch as the goddess of a group of people she's only ever known as the enemy that caused her brother's disability uses what's left of her body in order to serve that enemy. It's only when Fiora is forced to watch her friends and brother risk death at her own unfamiliar hands that she is finally able to mentally cry out with enough strength to catch Maenad's attention and beg her to save her loved ones. Isn't all of that horrifying? Sure, by the end of the game, we're able to happily ever after return Fiora to being the only soul in her own human body. But for most of the story, she is forced to either backseat or cohabitate her own mangled, retrofitted corpse. In fact, once she finally gets primary control of her body back after the last events I described, the very next thing you do in-game is get help from the Machna in order to retrofit Fiora's new body so it's survivable for her without a giant robot around it. To put that into perspective, imagine the most defining and important thing happening in all of history was a war between humans and, like, giant spiders. Now imagine you're killed by the freakiest giant spider anyone has ever seen. Now imagine when you wake up, your body has been ripped apart and entirely reworked to function as a giant spider's organs. You're entirely conscious of what has happened to you, and yet have no control over the spider whose body you are now a part of. Instead, the giant spider's primordial goddess is in total control, only knowing your consciousness as a collection of incomprehensible tingles in the back of its mind. And then the spider eats your boyfriend. Freaky, huh?